Have you ever wondered why some people find it hard to stop playing video games? This is a question that has been asked by many, and the answer lies in the realm of gaming addiction. It's a serious issue that can grip players, transforming a harmless hobby into an irresistible compulsion. It's more than just an inability to put down the controller. It's a psychological condition that can affect an individual's mental health, personal life, and overall well-being. So, let's delve into the mind of a gaming addict. Gaming addiction is more than just a lack of self-control. It's a complex interplay of psychological factors that can ensnare even the most disciplined among us. Let's delve into these factors, shall we? Firstly, there's the dopamine reward system. Dopamine, often known as the feel-good neurotransmitter, plays a major role in how we perceive pleasure. Every time a gamer achieves a quest, unlocks a new level, or receives a virtual reward, their brain releases dopamine. This creates a sensation of pleasure and satisfaction, which reinforces the gaming behavior. Over time, the brain begins to crave this dopamine rush, and gaming becomes the go-to method for achieving it. Next is the concept of escapism. Life is full of stressors, work, school, relationships, you name it. And sometimes we just need to escape from reality for a while. Video games provide a perfect escape route. They offer a different world where gamers can be anyone, do anything, and achieve success at their own pace. This virtual world can be so enticing that it sometimes feels more appealing than the real world. And that's when the lines between gaming for fun and gaming to escape start to blur. Lastly, we cannot overlook the social aspects of gaming. In many games, players can team up with friends, make new ones, or even compete against players from around the globe. This social interaction can be a powerful draw, especially for those who may feel isolated or misunderstood in their offline lives. The sense of community and belonging that gaming can provide is a powerful psychological factor that can contribute to gaming addiction. But remember, gaming, like anything else, is not inherently bad. It only becomes a problem when it starts to interfere with your everyday life and well-being. Understanding these factors, the dopamine reward system, escapism, and the social aspects, is the first step to understanding gaming addiction. Armed with this knowledge, we can begin to develop healthier gaming habits and strategies to manage potential addictive behaviors. After all, knowledge is power, and understanding is the first step towards change. Meet John, a 20-year-old college student. He's an avid gamer, spending countless hours on multiplayer games. But it's not just the thrill of the game that keeps John hooked. It's the camaraderie, the sense of belonging, the feeling of being part of a community that fuels his addiction. John's story is not unique. Many gamers find themselves drawn to the social aspects of gaming. It offers them a platform to interact, to compete, to collaborate, and to forge relationships that transcend the virtual world. For John, these multiplayer games are more than just games. They are his social lifeline. In between lectures and assignments, John finds solace in the virtual camaraderie. The late-night raids, the strategy discussions, the shared victories and defeats, they all offer him a sense of acceptance and validation that he craves. The game is his stage, and the players, his audience. This need for social interaction and acceptance, however, comes at a cost. John's real-world relationships begin to suffer. His academic performance declines, his health deteriorates, yet he continues to game, for the virtual world offers him a sense of belonging that the real world fails to provide. John's story illustrates how gaming addiction can stem from a need for social interaction. It shows us that the psychology of gaming addiction is complex, shaped not just by the thrill of the game, but also by the human need for connection and acceptance. Now, let's talk about Sarah, a 30-year-old professional. Sarah is a hard-working individual who often finds herself buried in her work and personal commitments. Life can get stressful for her, and to unwind, she turns to the world of gaming. Every evening, after a long day at work, Sarah would dive into the immersive worlds of her favorite games. The vibrant landscapes, the intricate storylines, the thrill of victory, they all provided her with an escape from her demanding reality. In these gaming realms, Sarah wasn't a stressed-out professional anymore. She was a hero, a conqueror, a master strategist. But soon, Sarah's occasional gaming sessions began to turn into marathon gaming nights. She started relying heavily on the virtual world to deal with her real-life stresses. The lines between her reality and the gaming world started to blur, and this is where the problem began. Sarah's desire to escape her stressful life had led her down the path of gaming addiction. She found herself playing games not for enjoyment, but as a desperate attempt to avoid confronting her real-life challenges. This is a classic case of using games as a form of escapism. It's not the games themselves that are addictive, but rather the relief they provide from life's pressures. Sarah's story shows us how gaming can become a coping mechanism for stress and life's difficulties. So what happens when gaming becomes more than just a hobby? When games shift from being an enjoyable pastime to an all-consuming obsession, the impacts can ripple through every aspect of one's life, from mental and physical health to relationships and daily routines. Let's start with mental health. Gaming addiction can lead to a range of psychological issues. Anxiety and depression are common, often stemming from the isolation that can come with excessive gaming. There's also the stress of constantly striving to level up or achieve high scores. In fact, research suggests that around half of all gamers have experienced mental health issues directly related to their gaming habits. Then there's the physical toll. Long hours spent in front of a screen can lead to a sedentary lifestyle, contributing to obesity and related health problems, not to mention the strain on the eyes and the potential for developing carpal tunnel syndrome from repetitive hand movements. But the impacts of gaming addiction extend beyond the individual. Relationships can suffer too. Friends and family may feel neglected as the gamer prioritizes virtual worlds over real-world connections. Studies show that nearly 1/3 of gamers report conflict with others due to their gaming habits. Daily life can also be disrupted. School, work, and other responsibilities may be neglected, leading to poor academic performance, job loss, or other consequences. It's estimated that over 1/4 of gamers have missed out on important life events due to their gaming habits. And it's not just adults who are affected. Recent studies show that nearly 9% of children and teenagers who play video games are at risk of becoming addicted. This risk is even higher for those who play online multiplayer games, where the social aspects can be particularly compelling. As we can see, gaming addiction is a serious issue that can significantly impact a person's life. It's important to remember that while gaming can be a fun and engaging pastime like anything else, it should be enjoyed in moderation. To summarize what we've discussed today, we delved into the fascinating yet complex world of the psychology of gaming addiction. We started by acknowledging the gaming reality, the vast universe of virtual experiences that captivate billions around the globe. We then ventured into the psychology of gaming addiction, exploring how the potent mix of challenge, reward, and social interaction can create an irresistible pull for many gamers. We saw how games can become more than just a pastime, morphing into a compulsive habit for some. Our journey took us through the lives of two types of gamers. The social gamer, who finds in games a sense of community and connection, often substituting real-world interactions. And the escapist gamer, who uses games as a refuge from reality, a place to cope with stress, anxiety, or dissatisfaction. We also faced the harsh truth about the impacts of gaming addiction. We saw how this compulsive behavior can affect physical health, mental well-being, relationships, and even academic and professional performance. In conclusion, the world of gaming is a double-edged sword. It can provide a sense of achievement, camaraderie, and escape. But when taken to extremes, it can lead to addiction with serious consequences. This is why understanding the psychology behind gaming addiction is crucial. It's the first step in identifying, addressing, and hopefully preventing this issue. Remember, understanding the psychology behind gaming addiction is the first step towards addressing this issue. Let's be mindful gamers.